Local educators and members of the community expressing their concern as they urge the Socorro School Board to reconsider proposed layoffs. That school board set to make a final decision that could affect many educators and their families. Hello, everyone. I'm Robert Olguin. We have team coverage of that school board meeting. Out in Far East El Paso is where we find reporters Julia Spencer and Harrison Parker. We begin tonight with Julia, who has a recap of what's happened so far. Julia.
Well, Robert, we've heard hours of heartbreak and concern from hundreds of community members who are speaking directly to the Socorro School Board about the district's announcement of massive layoffs. Now, that meeting is still ongoing and concern is still being shared to those Board of Trustees. And this is a report we've been following since Friday. And this is all a result of the districts battling a massive budget deficit.
The teachers, they're not just teachers, they're our family.
Thank you all for being the unsung heroes of education. You don't teach just music and art, you change lives.
The Socorro School Board is moments away from deciding the fate of hundreds of educators and staff members within its district. As we've reported, Interim Superintendent James Vasquez released this letter last Friday, stating that the district needed to cut parts of its workforce and implement budget cuts district-wide to come up with $38 million to combat their budget deficit. That includes programs such as elementary fine arts programs, academic programs with low student participation, and administrative offices within all departments.
And there's 300 employees who are going to lose their job. 300 families are going to have to see what they're going to do to be able to put food on the table.
The district blames a drop in enrollment, chronic absenteeism, low birth rates, and inadequate state funding for the shortfall.
The Fine Arts Department is an alternate universe where pupils are often recognizable from who they are outside of it. The shy become confident, the agitated become calm, the lonely become included, the quiet become heard, and the lost become found.
We're worried about balancing the budget, but we're not worried about our children. We're not worried about saving any of these special projects. We did all those STEM classes and everything, money down the drain.
This decision that is being made by the higher-ups are going to be affecting us as well. We are losing our families. We are losing the fathers, the mothers in the classrooms. I just want to ask, is this our fault?
Now, district leaders are expected to hold a news conference immediately after tonight's board meeting. And once the board does come up with their decision, we'll let you know both on air and online. Harrison, you spoke to people about this situation one-on-one, actually. Now, why did they tell you why this is so important to them?
Well, that's right, Julia. Tonight was a capacity crowd. At one point, people were even being turned away as the room actually hit capacity at one point. Now, most people here are opposed to all the cuts, some in particular here because of the cuts to SASD's Fine Arts program. I spoke with parents, their kids, and even some fine arts teachers whose jobs are at stake.
If they're just going to get rid of all elementary music and art, we're having trouble wrapping our head around how bad that is.
Ben Vincent is an elementary music specialist with the district who says he will lose his job if the cuts go through. He thinks the cuts are counterproductive, to say the least.
So here we are, always working to make sure the kids can do better on their tests and better on the assessments and do better in school. Why would you take away something that helps them do better in school?
One parent whose son has already gone through the orchestra says she's fighting for her daughter who's in pre-K who wouldn't get the same level of education.
She does have a long way to go. She has to go to first grade, second, third, fourth, and I want her to know what it's like to be in orchestra, experience what it's like to be in band.
Ileana Salazar says for students, these programs are vital to their time in school.
I think that they identify themselves with this. It's something that they need.
One fine art student told me of her reaction to the news.
It absolutely broke my heart. I feel like the fine arts can often be overlooked.
Samantha Badillo credits her elementary school art teacher with encouraging her to take up drawing, a passion she'll now follow to college.
He showed me through printmaking and painting and a bunch of other stuff that there was a lot more than I thought there was to art. And it was insane to me because all my life I thought, oh, you have to work to academics. But then I found out I can do what I love and still make money with it.
A lot of people quite invested, as you just heard, in the outcome here. Now, this meeting is ongoing, but once we hear a verdict or the decision of the board, we will let you know as soon as possible. I'm Harrison Parker, reporting from Far East El Paso, KFOX 14 News at 9.
Right, Harrison, that's right. We'll continue to follow this story and we'll bring you any updates once there is indeed a vote from the school board.